Good morning from St. Petersburg, Florida. The A's are set to wrap up a 9-game East Coast road trip, and they will send Sonny Gray to the mound in the rubber game of this 3-game set with the Tampa Bay Rays. Sonny is looking to get back on track and get the A's a win before they head home after the game. It's the A's and the Rays, final game of the series, and it's coming up next. Sunday baseball from Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, and it is the final game of this long road trip for the Athletics, and they will send Sonny Gray to the mound. Sonny trying to straighten out some of the struggles he has had recently, and the A's trying to get a series win. It's the A's and the Rays coming up on CSN California. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Oakland A's baseball along with Ray Fosse. I'm Glenn Kuiper. Well, recently we have seen Sonny Gray struggle like, well, strange to us. We're just not used to him struggling so much. But Ray, the stuff is there. He says he's healthy, and there's certainly plenty of reason to think that he will come out of this slump he's in.
You know, Cup, I agree with you 100%. He's under 500 with his record. He's at 6 with the ERA. He's a great pitcher, but you look at the numbers, similar to what we said last night with Kendall Graveman, erase all that stuff because they're not very good numbers, especially for your ace. But he's been elevating his pitches, fastball, curveball. He's not pitching down on the zone. When that happens, even Sonny Gray, as great as the career he has had already as a young pitcher, you're going to get hit, and that's what's happened to him his last 3 starts.
Now, the Rays do a great job of developing their own pitching, and Matt Moore's one of their guys. Right. He had some success early on in his career, but also some injuries, and he's a guy coming off Tommy John surgery.
Surprisingly, the last time the A's faced him was 2012, right here, a couple of starts at Tropicana Field. He's got a good fastball. He'll throw a curveball, occasionally a cutter, but he has not pitched that well either. April 17th was his last win. He elevates his fastball, as you're watching here, but the bottom line, it's kind of a straight fastball. He'll throw the curveball. The A's did beat him in one of those starts back in 12, but they have not seen him in a while. A lot of those players who were here in 12 obviously not here right now, but should be a good matchup today with lefty and a righty pitching.
So Sonny Gray looking for his 4th win of the year. Matt Moore looking for his 2nd win of the year. When we come back, we will check in with the A's pregame live studios and then back to Tropicana Field for the ball game, A's and the Rays.
Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the Baconlicious Sourdough Bacon Ranch Combo, only at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota. It's Toyota time for big savings on legendary Toyota quality. Take a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
So the Rays behind their starting pitcher today, Matt Moore, take the field. They're wearing the light blue tops on a Sunday afternoon here in St. Petersburg. Sunday morning to our viewers back in the Bay Area. And it is the rubber game of the series. Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The boardwalk is open. Visit beachboardwalk.com for park hours. Another nice day in St. Petersburg. It's 82 degrees outside and we are indoors. Good group of A's fans there. And the A's are looking forward to getting a win today, and they're also looking forward to heading home. It should be a good homestand. The Rangers and the Yankees coming to town. The lineup today for the Athletics. There's a few changes in it. Coco Crisp is going to play center field. Billy Burns is going to play right field today. Reddick's going to get the day off. Danny Valencia moves up to the third spot. Chris Davis will hit cleanup. Start for Billy Butler at DH. Vogt will catch. Marcus Semien moves up to the seventh spot. Then it's Yonder Alonso hitting eighth, and Tyler Ladendorf will play second base.
And Matt Moore, like Sonny Gray, trying to pick up a win today. Matt Moore 1-3 on the season, making his 8th start, just like Sonny Gray. But Matt Moore, a good fastball and curveball. Pretty much those are his two main pitches. Likes to use the fastball a lot. A greater percentage of the time, a lefty, and that's why the A's line up a little bit different today, trying to get as many righties in as possible.
Defensively behind the lefty Matt Moore, it's Corey Dickerson in left, Kevin Kiermaier in center, Brandon Geyer is in right. Evan Longoria and Brad Miller on the left side of the diamond. Steve Pearce and Logan Morrison on the right side. Hank Conger again is your catcher.
Well, Speed at the top of the batting order, actually at the bottom as well as Ladendorf hitting ninth, and then Chris and Burns. So maybe, unlike last night, the A's can get some base runners and put a little added pressure on the Rays in this afternoon's game.
So Matt Moore deals the first pitch to Coco Crisp in there for a strike. A's won on Friday night 6-3. The Rays won last night 6-0, shutout fashion. Breaking ball catches the outside corner, and a quick 0-2 to Coco Crisp. Coco hitting at 223.
With Conger catching last night with injuries, then he's familiar at least how he called the game against the Athletics, although Matt Moore, a lefty versus the righty last night, but those three quality pitches, fastball and a couple of curveballs.
Coco strikes out on 3 pitches, 1 out here in the first inning.
Curveball, first one that went to the outside part of the plate, very similar to Rich Hill, who did so well on Friday night defeating the Rays, picking up his 5th win. Matt Moore, the lefty, using the backdoor curveball as well as the one down and in.
So that'll bring up Billy Burns. First pitch to Burns. Breaking ball line toward left center. Dickerson was shaded that way. So he was placed in the right spot. He was well toward left center field, and that's the second out.
Pretty much it. You see the higher percentage of fastballs, the curveball right behind it, about a third as many. But today already 3 of the first 4 have been of the breaking ball variety. And a changeup. He'll throw a cutter off his fastball, but not as much.
And I think, Ray, you could call Matt Moore a stylish left-hander.
Yeah.
Got a very smooth delivery, that big high leg kick.
Which means a lot of times you can see the ball coming out of his hand very well, although the curveball, if it's working, and like I said, it's working so far in the early part of this game, that could be a great pitch for him.
Fastball down around the knees for a strike, 91 miles an hour.
Different home plate umpire, different strike zone. I mean, that's usually what happens, and that's why it's important to know the umpire behind the plate.
Valencia, excuse me, Ray.
The unusual setup for Matt Moore. He's almost closed himself off with the setup, and then winds up similar, of course, David Price whenever he's here.
Ryan Lackney is your umpire. Mike DeMiro at first. Home plate umpire, I should say. Mike DeMiro at first. That's Brian Gorman at second. He's the crew chief. Mark Carlson is down at third. So Ryan Blakeney calling balls and strikes. He already had a little conversation with Danny Valencia.
been a lot of conversation in this series, starting on Friday night with both sides. And Brian Gorman, the home plate umpire then, last night with Mark Carlson.
So 1-2 the count. Valencia at 324. He's got a couple of home runs. Both came on Friday night. 5 RBIs. And a fastball at 94 miles an hour, just a bit inside.
First pitch of the game was 90, just get me over fastball to Coco Crisp, but then this little bit added fastball inside part of the plate.
Another close pitch at 94. So it's a full count.
And now Hank Conger having a little conversation with the home plate umpire. That's on the white line on the left side of the white-handed batter's box.
And that one is belted to left field. And that baby's gone way out of here. 1-0 A's.
Third home run of the weekend. Third home run for Danny Valencia. Taking a long time getting around the bases, but you know, that's simply a fastball. I'm going to challenge him. I'm not going to walk him, and he challenged him, and he got burnt. So Danny Valencia, a crushed fastball, no doubter. With the changeup on Friday night in the first inning, hits a fastball way deep to left field. First inning this afternoon. Likes Florida, doesn't he? Must like the fishing on Thursday. Your great question to him on Friday night about that big fish that he caught.
So here's Chris Davis. That was a long one. The seats and then a walkway and then another section of seats that's tarped off. It hit up on that tarped off area. Valencia sliding up to the third spot in the lineup with Reddick getting the day off. Popped up. Morrison hustling over, and Morrison has a play, and he makes the catch, and the side is retired. Danny Valencia with his third home run of the weekend, and this was no cheapie, folks. It was way out of here. 1-0 A's lead. So the A's get a Valencia home run to take a 1-0 lead over the Rays. Bottom of the first, and here is the Rays lineup for today. Geyer is in right, Miller at short, Longoria at third, Dickerson's in left. Souza will DH today, then Morrison at first, Pierce at second, Kiermaier in center, and Conger is your catcher.
Sonny Gray probably said, just give me one run and I'll take care of the rest. Well, he got the one run. See if he can do the rest, because he, like Matt Moore, making his 8th start. Sonny 3-4, lost his last 3 starts. Matter of fact, his last win came against the Blue Jays in Toronto. His catcher, today's catcher, Stephen Vogt.
So Sonny Gray Deals the first pitch, a strike to Brandon Guyer.
Stephen Vogt caught Sonny Gray that final game of the first half last year in Cleveland before the two went to the All-Star game in Cincinnati. A shutout for Sonny Gray and a great start.
So Sonny trying to even up his record at 4-4. Fouled at the plate, rolls away, and count 1-2. Sonny with a career record of 36-24. Going through, even though it's just a 3-start stretch, probably the toughest stretch in his career. Tap slowly up the line.
That had to be off of Guyer someplace because he didn't run.
Neither did Billy Burns.
No.
Did we get any more of an explanation on that call?
No, and I didn't want to pursue it. Otherwise, this. Yeah, see, that hit him just like it last night. Same way, only Billy's went in fair territory, but that one popped up and hit Guyer as he was running out of the batter's box. Now it was just a bad call. Started the game in a very, very bad light.
Fielding hits well. Davis going back. Davis near the track. Gone. Just like that, we're tied at 1.
Well, they wanted it outside. Look where the location is. Stayed right in the middle of the plate, a little bit above the thigh. And Stephen Vogt set up outside and just did not make the quality pitch that he'd hoped to make with the breaking pitch. Sonny last year with his start in Oakland against the Rays gave up 3 solo home runs out of no decision. Also pitched against them here and won the game.
Brandon Guyer, 3rd career leadoff home run. Miller shoots one the other way, foul. 1-1 to count. Miller homered last night, his 5th of the year. He's hitting .204 on the season. It was a slow start for Miller, but he's starting to hit the ball a little bit better. Sliders low, 2-1.
I think one of the problems that a pitcher can have, whether it's Sonny Gray struggling or any pitcher, is that if you start to think about every pitch you make and trying to make a perfect pitch, it's not going to work out because it's not a nice, easy, smooth delivery to where you can think about it. At least.
Nice play by Danny Valencia. He had a long ways to run. Valencia makes the play in foul territory, getting a workout. A's defensively, Davis, Crisp, and Burns. And for Billy Burns, this is his first ever start in right field as a professional baseball player. He didn't even do it in the minor leagues. Valencia, Simeon, Ladendorf, Alonso on the infield, and Stephen Vogt is your catcher. So Billy Burns in right field. Shouldn't be much of a problem for him. I think he'll be fine out there.
And he just has to realize that Coco Crisp, who actually has played the corner but in left field, it was kind of the drawing of the short straw. And he got it to play in right, but he took some fly balls, said he was comfortable, and gets the start in right.
He did take some fly balls before yesterday's game, so he was aware that playing right field was a possibility.
It was last year when Billy Burns was at third and a deep fly ball that he left too soon, had to go back and was not able to tag up, but he said he completely lost the ball. And this is a tough day because it is a day game with this roof, and with the baseball being kind of the muddy look into this roof, which is the muddy look.
The roof is the exact color of the baseball.
Exactly. That's why you cannot take your eye off the baseball, because if you do, you're not going to pick it up. That's Mark Kotze about the Metrodome. He said the worst he ever played in. That is no longer there. So really players of today, with the exception of this one and Roger Center, and that of course can be open. This one stays closed all the time. You have to deal with the roof, the elements.
Here's Marcotte. Behind Mike Eldreddy.
Great center fielder for the A's back in the mid 2000s, actually 2006, when the A's won the division and division series.
Longoria on the 3-2 pitch, reaches for it, stays alive. So Sonny Gray trying to put this stretch behind him. Another 3-2 pitch, and that's a shot toward Davis in left field. Davis cannot get it. One hops the wall. Longoria with a hard hit double.
Time now for the Nissan keys to the game. It all starts with number 54, Sonny Gray, and he needs to rebound from 3 not so great starts, and starts that we're unaccustomed to seeing from Sonny Gray. And for the Athletics, win a series in May. They have not done that. They had a chance in Baltimore to start this road trip when they won the first game of the day-night doubleheader, but lost the nightcap, lost Sunday, lost 3 in a row to Boston, won Friday night here, lost last night. So that would be a great thing to see happen to the Athletics. Were swept by the Mariners at the Coliseum before heading on this East Coast trip. But another fastball, not a bad selection, but a bad location. And after fouling off some pitches, Evan Longoria blistered. Fortunately, did not get the elevation, kept it in the park, but a double nonetheless.
Here's the cleanup man, Corey Dickerson. Fastball is high. Dickerson 1 for 5 in this series. That one hit was a triple. Dickerson's got 5 doubles. He's got a triple to go with his 8 home runs. 19 hits total. He's brought over here to hit. Hit the ball out of the ballpark. That's what the Rays are hoping for.
But I like your reference to the Coors Field, because that does make a huge difference when you play there and then have to leave. They always talk about the splits for the Rockies, who play at home the 81 games versus on the road.
And listen, I think Rockies people don't want to hear about it, but it is the real deal. I mean, there is a difference. There's a huge difference, and it's almost like when you get a guy that played for the Rockies, you almost need to stop and find out whether he can hit or not. It may not sound fair, but I think it's true.
And there's a reason that the Rockies organization seems they always want to sign pitchers who are sinker ball pitchers. Keep the ball on the ground instead of getting it in the air, the light air. Dickerson,
he does have good power, and he's already got 8 home runs, but the batting average just at 183.
You know, a lot of these hitters are so strong, it really doesn't matter where they play. I mean, you just look at Dickerson. It's hard to see swings. He makes contact. I mean, he may run into 30 easily.
Yep.
He may hit 200, but if he runs into 30, he's going to have a lot of home runs. But sometimes you just need to shorten the swing a little bit when you get a couple of strikes, and he's not one that's going to do that.
And I think that's where you have to decide as an organization, is hitting 25 home runs but hitting for a very low average, whether it be 210, 220, is that in your mind a good player, a good offensive player? Some organizations say no. Others say, you know what, we want home runs.
You know, I think it's kind of logical to think that if an everyday player, and I've always been of the thought that an everyday player will get anywhere from 500 to 600 plate appearances. That's going to the plate, and whether you walk, whatever you might do. But if you hit 30 to 40 to 50, there's a whole bunch of at-bats left. That
what do you do with those?
What do you do with them? And if you're swinging hard and you're not getting production out of those at-bats, then, I mean, yeah, I mean, guys who hit home runs are going to run into 30 or 40 mistakes. And those are usually the ones that are going to be hit.
Well, and it's interesting, too, around baseball. Strikeouts are up. And I think the teams that are in the last couple of years starting to have success offensively are teams that don't strike out a lot.
That's right. Put the ball in play. It's anything can happen when you do that.
There's a shot toward Davis. Davis coming in, and he's got it. And he'll throw back to second, but Longoria gets back. So Dickerson, that's good at bat there as he lined one the other way.
Great job by Chris Davis again. We saw last night turn the bases loaded into a double play. Went down and got the low slider, did Dickerson. But look where Chris Davis is playing shallow enough that he could charge in. And good base running by Longoria, because while he thought he could not have a chance to score, all of a sudden he saw Chris Davis not even having to leave his feet and making a nice catch.
So 2 outs, Longoria at second, and here's Steven Souza. Souza is 3 for 7 with a couple of doubles in this series. He also walked. He's driven in a run. He has scored a run.
That's the location of the fastball that Sonny needs consistently. First pitch to Souza, down around the knees on the outside part of the plate, and Kurt Young's pitching coach said that's his style of pitching. If he has that and he does that, then he'll have success again.
That one in the dirt, 1-1. Souza has 6 doubles on the year. He has struck out 45 times in 114 at bats. But he does have the 8 home runs. Big, strong right-handed hitter. This one's popped up right side of the diamond. First baseman Yonder Alonso's there. He's got it, and that will do it for the Rays. They get a leadoff home run from Brandon Geyer. So it's a 1-1 game after 1.
You remember that gentleman, the Aussie, Grant Balfour, and he threw out the ceremonial first pitch tonight. Evan Longoria, a teammate of his. So I'm talking to Josh Reddick right there, and they were teammates in 12 in a magical season. And Grant Balfour, they played his raging Balfour music and did not even get up on the mound, but threw. At least it made it to the plate. And all things go well, we'll have him join us in the booth early part of this game. Look forward to that.
Yeah, look forward to talking to Grant, see how he's doing. He looks great. Now he lives here, right?
Yeah.
Butler, Vogt, and Simeon here in the second inning. 1-1 the count. Let me think about the A's teams that Grant Balfour was on, and that's when 2012, 2013. He was there in 2011 as well, but it was the 2012 and 13 teams. They had all these great players and lots of success, but he was probably as well known and as well liked as any of the Donaldson Cespedes crew.
Right.
Fans loved him. He was here for that year with the Rays, 2008, when they went to the World Series.
I remember, and we were discussing it before the game, about Orlando Cabrera against the White Sox, and he kicked dirt at Balfour. Oh, I don't think you do that to Grant Balfour that often, and Balfour just blew him away. But there was no reason for it. I remember watching, what are you doing? And then you see that rage that we got to see firsthand on the face of Grant Balfour, and he aired it out.
Billy Butler could have a base hit, and he will have a base hit. Miller backhanded it, but he went into a slide, and Butler has the hit.
Billy was busting it down the line and hoping that if Miller did come up with it, he was not going to be able to make the throw, and breaking ball into the inside part of the plate. Run, Billy, run. As Miller got to it, he's going to try to throw from his knees, but could not handle it. Good play in the outfield turf, but hopped out of his glove.
So leadoff man aboard. Here's Stephen Vogt. First pitch to Vogt. Interesting numbers on Matt Moore this year. He's allowed a .324 batting average to left-handed hitters. Right-handed hitters hitting just .234, so that's a 90-point difference. Oh, and Alonso, the two left-handed hitters in the lineup for the A's. So that's sometimes you just can't explain it. And the A's have not faced a lot of left-handed starters this year, but they're going to in the next 4 days. They're facing Matt Moore, and then all three starters for the Texas Rangers left-handed. Holland, Cole Hamels, and Martin Perez. So it'll be 4 straight lefties against the A's. So Bob Melvin will mix and match, look at the right thing to do.
And the A's have Manaea, Surkamp, and Hill.
Yeah,
so six lefties.
That's right.
Clay Wood can only take care of the right side of the mound. Follow through.
Stephen Vogt went after a high fastball. Skies one toward left. That's Dickerson who makes the catch.
You know, I think I look at the numbers and kind of compare a little bit to Rich Hill and how Rich Hill pitches and gets right-handers out so effectively. And I think because of the platoon these days, you're going to face more right-handers. In the case of Moore with a backdoor breaking ball, and I think a great example was Coco Crisp, and Rich Hill, same way. Once he gets his curveball working, establishes that pitch, then the fastball is that much better. And the same with Moore. Although Moore turned it up to 94 with a pitch to Valencia in the inside part of the plate before he gave up the home run. But if a hitter a lot of times will give up on a breaking pitch in the outside part of the plate, the right-hander, and it breaks over the plate, then they've already committed to no swing.
Marcus Semien with his 9 home runs. He's 2 for 6 in this series. He hit number 9 on Friday night. Change up there from Moore, but it stayed high. So 2-0 the count. Alonso to follow. Marcus Semien's 9 home runs. He's tied for 6th in the American League in that category. Last year he hit 15. So the count is 3-0. Butler short lead. Morrison holding him on. On the 3-0 count. Semien takes a rip at it, and skies it foul.
I got a fastball Friday night, and after Davis had tied him with the home runs for the Athletics with 8, Marcus Semien did it again, hitting a fastball into left field seats. Kind of reminiscent of Milton Bradley and Nick Swisher in '06 and Frank Thomas, when one would hit and the other would hit and the other would hit. Just nobody could hit one without the other doing the same thing in a game.
And there's the walk. Marcus Semien, most of the year batting ninth. Not today, he's batting seventh, but most home runs in a season batting ninth in the A's history.
You know, I was curious about that and just looked it up as they have the notes. He's hit second one time, but three, make it four times now, and 7, 3, and 8, 30 hitting ninth. And so I think only the one start batting second in the lineup, but otherwise down in the lower part. And it's a good place to have him because he can add so much production, and considering his defense and the importance of his shortstop defense, good place to have him.
2 on 1 out for Yonder Alonso. Alonso's got his average up to 230. First pitch is low. He's 3 for 8 in this series. Has not played a great deal against left-handers, but as I said, the A's have not faced a lot of left-handed starters. He's 1 for 13 against lefties.
I think Bob Melvin appreciates his ability to play first base defensively, and that in itself, it's usually a position of power as a hitter, but he saved so many runs with his great defensive play at first. First batter last night had a scoop and made it seem so easy, and mentioned it to him, and he says, well, I think more about the ones that I missed than the ones I catch. He catches, and more than actually we ever remember him missing.
So Moore a little off with his location right now. He's behind 2-0. That one on the outside corner, first strike.
Good location outside corner, and stayed with the fastball, but the location was the key. And we have seen him, especially in this road trip, hit balls to opposite field, and that might be one that he could take to left field, considering they're shifting him to the right side.
Yeah, Longoria kind of sitting in the 5.5 hole. And he's not worried about the runner stealing third base because it's Billy Butler, so that helps Longoria out. Otherwise, he'd have to be a little closer to the bag. Ladendorf to follow. That one hit very high, headed for the right field corner. Geyer can't find it. Now he charges in, and it ends up being to the second baseman. And it had to hit something, huh, Ray?
Yeah, it hit the ring. And they're pointing to it, and
because it was headed for what I thought was down in the right field corner, and it ended up just behind where the second baseman was playing.
It's amazing that you have to even be concerned about that.
So it must have hit, and I'm guessing, Ray, it had to hit the B ring.
Is it the B?
Yeah,
okay.
Because it goes A is the small one, B, C, D. A fair ball that hits A or B in play, and that's the top 2 catwalks. So it's a ball that stays on top. See, it says a fair ball that hits one of the top 2 catwalks is in play.
And so the second baseman, Pierce, caught it.
So Pierce caught it, exactly.
So, I mean, you talk about home field advantage. I don't know that a visiting player would be that alert enough to catch a ball that hits a ring.
Then that's their mistake.
Well, I agree.
Because the rule is there.
No, not the rule. Just the fact that they watch a fly ball and then all of a sudden it comes straight down. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because they only play 3 games here, whereas the Rays are playing 81 games.
So again, that play comes into play because it hit the B ring. A fair ball that hits one of the top 2 catwalks or rings is in play, and the top 2 catwalks are A and B.
Right. An amazing thing, Semien was almost double off first because of that.
And it would have been a legitimate double play.
Because he was halfway down thinking the ball was going to go down the right field line like you described, and all of a sudden it's caught.
And the 0-2 fastball, Endorf swings and misses, so the A's have an opportunity, but they cannot score. They strand the pair. Bottom of the second coming up. A's 1, Rays 1. Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by AAA. What does your insurance do when it's not doing insurance? It should do more. Go to AAA.com for more details. That was Ray and I on the off day Thursday. Ray's in the foreground. I'm in the background.
Find me on those.
Yeah, you were crazy on that jet ski.
It kind of looks fun, doesn't it?
Jet skis are a lot of fun.
Never been on one.
They're fun. Breaking ball in for a strike to Logan Morrison, followed by Pierce and Kiermaier here in the bottom of the second. With Logan Forsythe on the disabled list, Forsythe second baseman. And Sonny Gray grabs it, and he'll flip to first for out number 1. Nice play by Sonny.
Yeah, if I were Logan Morrison, I'd bunt every time with a shift.
No question.
I mean, leading off an inning, look at this shift. I mean, on this turf, you just push the ball and get it on the turf, it's going to stay fair.
Wow. And Morrison's going to start playing more because Pierce is going to play second base with Forsythe out. And Pierce sometimes plays first base, and it's going to give Morrison some at-bats. Here is Pierce. For the second game in a row, he's playing second base. He made some nice plays last night. Hitting .288, 5 home runs and 13 runs batted in. Rays come in with a 16-18 record. They're 6.5 back of the red-hot Baltimore Orioles in the East. The Rays are in a stretch where they're going to play a lot of baseball. 26 games in 27 days. And 18 of those 26 are on the road. So this is a tough stretch for the Rays. They have to make sure they play well.
And they're packed and ready to leave when the A's leave after the game.
Yep. 8-game trip for the Rays. They will go to Toronto, Detroit, and Miami. So they will be gone for a while. But 26 games in 27 days, that's a grind. So Pierce has the walk. And that'll bring up Kiermaier. Rays are 10-9 at home this year. And they are 6-8 on the road. Last year, the Rays finished 80-82. Kiermaier tries to bunt. The second straight year they've been under 500 after what was a really good stretch. And before that, Ray, they had 4 straight years of 90 or more wins in a season.
Do you know Joe Madden? I mean, I've never heard of a manager having an opt-out.
Huh. But he opted out, all right.
He went to Cubs, and Cubs won last year, postseason. They're off to a tremendous start this year.
Kiermaier chases a high fastball, 0-2. 2014, the Rays were 77-85, and then last year 80-82.
It's a high fastball that was taken by Pierce for ball 4, but Kiermaier went after it. Sometimes you could pitch up in the zone, but you have to have a pretty good fastball and have it not be as often as we have seen.
That one inside corner, strike 3 call. First strikeout for Sonny Gray.
And again, after a high fastball went down, a little bit of a cut fastball. And I think Stephen Vogt has said it best, caught him a lot last year. And just the 3rd start this year for Stephen Vogt, but talked about how he kind of makes up pitches, and if one's not working, he'll create one to work on a particular batter.
So with 2 outs, Hank Conger steps to the plate. Conger was 0 for 3 with a walk last night. Kirk Casale was the catcher on Friday night. We mentioned the struggles Conger has had throwing runners out, and what you'd hope is that at some point today the A's get a chance to take advantage of that when the A's are at bat. Conger's really had trouble throwing base stealers out. I'm sure the A's were well aware of it last night. They just didn't have any base runners.
And that's why, again, I hate to go back to the first batter, Billy Burns, but somehow he finds a way to get on. He could have stolen. He would have been a great person to do that and might have changed the whole game for Matt Andriese, but give him credit for pitching the way he did.
A little bit outside, 2-1 with Pierce at first. And the Rays do not have a stolen base in this series. Shift is on, and the pitch to Conger is inside. Valencia playing a shallow shortstop spot. Simeon right behind the bag at second. Landorf into shallow right field. So 3-1. Conger does not get cheated. Runner goes, and the ball's bounced. Landorf has to charge. He does. It kicks off his glove, and that'll be an error. Landorf really was charging it hard, and he just missed it.
He was playing the shift in the right field. Look where he's playing, and when the ball is hit, you almost show a second base position that he could have fielded and gotten the easy out, but by playing as deep as he was, and plus Conger runs decently for a catcher. I mean, it's not like he's slow, but once you have to charge, it changes everything. And at least fortunately, the ball at least ended up on the infield.
Well, that's the A's third error in this series and their 28th of the season. That's the most in the American League. And it gives Geyer a chance to hit. And Geyer hits one high and deep to left field. Davis is near the wall. Gone.
Leadoff home run. That was his last at bat, which was last inning. But we talk about location. Check this fastball. That fastball is belt high, and Geyer hit a slider about belt high. His first at bat, this fastball belt or above, and he didn't miss it. Very aggressive, and you know, you can look at the error by Ladendorf, which put a runner at second. Also, it's a one-out walk that started the inning. A 4-pitch walk to Pierce.
Last year, the 7th home run was July 17 that Sonny Gray allowed, and he's allowed 2 to the same guy today. So the air hurts, the long ball hurts, and it's now 4-1 Rays after 2.
All forms of youth baseball and softball, from organized league games to simply playing catch, come out to the Coliseum May 28th and 29th for MLB's inaugural Play Ball Weekend, proudly supported by Chevrolet and Scott's. On Sunday, May 29th, 10,000 fans will receive bat and ball sets. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets. Got the bat and ball set here last night. They're giving it away today. And all the players wearing the Play Ball t-shirts during batting practice.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, but we didn't get any.
No t-shirts?
Yeah, we had a chance to. We could have shown them for the weekend, but since we didn't get any, then so be it.
I don't know what to tell you, Ray.
I know.
It's a tough weekend for you. You're not getting any respect this weekend.
Well, I think from the broadcast team, I mean, it's been nice t-shirts to wear to show, because you're going to have it at the Coliseum in a couple of weekends.
0-2. Coco Christ. A's now trailing 4-1. Actually, we should say Brandon Geyer 4 and the A's 1. So we'll see how Matt Moore works with the 3-1 lead. 3-run lead, I should say. Congress sets up outside. Ball comes back over the plate. Chris puts it high and foul. A's come into today's game with a record of 15-22. They are 2-6 on this 9-game trip, finishing it up today. Just as we said, the Rays are going to be gone quite a bit the next couple of weeks. Different story for the A's. The A's will be at home quite a bit. In fact, 13 of the next 16 games for the A's will be at home. So that's good news. And through the shift, Coco with a line drive right field. So leadoff single for the A's. There's your schedule coming up next couple weeks anyways. Texas and the Yankees home, and then to Seattle for 3, and then right back home. And it'll be Detroit, and then after Detroit it'll be the Minnesota Twins. So that's the stretch right there. 13 home games, 13 of 16 at home. So Texas, New York at home, Seattle on the road, Detroit and Minnesota at home, and that'll take us into the month of June. First pitch to Burns, shows bunt, and it runs inside. But it should be an entertaining homestand, Ray, with the Rangers playing very well. Rangers have won 6 out of 8. They're a very good team. See them for the first time this year. And then the Yankees.
A's did not see Aroldis Chapman. There was not a save situation for him in New York.
Rays get one on the first, not in time.
Just wonder if second baseman was on the bag. He came across very quickly to avoid any slide, but Miller fed it to him. So it's one of those close plays.
It was close.
Very close. And Billy Burns hustling to avoid the double play. But there's not a neighborhood play anymore at second. And watch the second baseman come across the bag. That was as close as it could be. Pierce, not a lot of experience at second.
So 1 out. Burns now aboard, and here's Valencia. Valencia with a very long home run in the first inning.
That continued its hit streak, now 10 games for Danny. Great time to do it again. Back in 2012, the memorable season for the Athletics right here, Matt Moore had a similar 3-run lead. Actually, it's a 4-0 lead. He scored 5 with 2 outs and capped by a 3-run home run by Brandon Inge.
Misses badly. Watch where this ball Valencia hits. Watch where it lands in the first inning.
Well, that's one you knows it's gone. Just take a look at it way above and then tarped area above the first level.
When you hit them where there's tarps, that means you're hitting them where people usually don't sit, and that usually means it's far away from home plate. And that's how far it is. It's a long ways. Also here at Tropicana Field, they tarp about half of the upper deck. It's a huge upper deck. Since the Rays usually do not have real large crowds, they make the seating bowl a little smaller by tarping that area. There you see that upper deck. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Matt Moore paying a lot of attention to Billy Burns at first. Really the first opportunity the A's have had to try to steal their way into scoring position. And Matt Moore not only paying attention but also a slide step, quickly releasing the ball to the plate with Danny Valencia, which could help Danny, but a high fastball is no contact. He threw one down the middle that Danny took, maybe thinking that Burns is going to be running.
Burns has a good lead. Nine steals in 11 attempts for Burns. And that's what we were talking about last inning with the struggles of Hank Conger, and those are significant struggles.
Well, if Burns is going to run, he's going to have to go on first move, and I don't know if he's reading Matt Moore.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. 3 strikeouts now for Matt Moore.
Again, went to the semi slide step, and again a fastball down the middle, and
two outs, and here's Chris Davis. Jose Altuve leads the American League in steals with 13, and then Burns and Ellsbury are tied for second with the 9. Changeup misses badly. Rajay Davis has 8 steals. Rajay with the Cleveland Indians.
you have to wonder with the power of Chris Davis if Billy Burns would think about stealing, and that may be a reason that he's not running. Same with Valencia after hitting a solo home run in the first.
Another changeup and another miss by Moore. Chris Davis sitting on a 2-0 count. He fouled out to first in the first.
You'd have to think back-to-back changeups. He's going to get a fastball. I don't know if he'd throw a curve and take the chance of going to 3-0, but he's put himself in a hole with a power hitter.
There's a great note on Chris Davis in the A's notes, Ray, and I know you've seen it. Since August 6th of last year, Chris Davis has hit the same amount of home runs as the Orioles' Chris Davis and Yoenis Cespedes, and he's hit 2 more home runs than Encarnacion and Ortiz.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Since August 6th of last year. He had a good last 2 months last year with the Brewers, but he hit the same amount of home runs in any stretch of time as the other Chris Davis. But you can see Chris, he's a strong guy. And that's a good pitch by Moore right on the outside corner, so he kept it away from Chris Davis, not allowing him to open up and let it rip.
Well, they're pitching him outside. They're saying if you hit a base hit to right field, we'd be ecstatic, because he tried to go inside, and Chris has the power to hit it out to right field, and they're going to go outside with another fastball.
So Burns will be running. And there he goes, and it's hit the shallow right. Geyer is there, and that's pretty good pitching by Matt Moore. So the leadoff single by Chris, but the A's can do nothing with it. Bottom of the third coming up, 4-1 Rays. Inning from Tropicana Field, and we are thrilled to have Grant Balfour in the booth. Grant, thanks for joining us, buddy. How are you?
Good, mate. How are you?
What's going on?
Good to see you.
It's great to see you, man.
Yeah.
They played your music when you threw out the first pitch today.
They did.
And in Oakland, all those right field fans of yours were screaming and yelling, saying, there it is, the rage again.
There they go. Hey, one last time for the boys out there in right field.
So how you doing? How's
I'm doing
retirement?
Great.
Good?
Retirement's good. It's everything it's meant to be, you know. A little more of a chilled atmosphere. I don't hear Metallica playing too much around my house. But, no, I'm enjoying it. You know, it's nice to be able to go and pick your kids up from school and see them running to you and doing all those little things that, you know, every other father, I guess, out there gets to do, and things you've missed in the past that, you know, you don't really think about when you're out there. You're doing your thing, you're playing ball every day, and that's your job, and you know you love doing it. But then it comes to a point where, you know, we can't all play forever. I'd like to have kept playing. I would have liked to have kept playing a little bit longer, but got to a point where, you know, that was probably it. So pass the torch over to one of these other guys here today and sit back and watch.
Oh, the 3 years with the A's, 2011, 2012, 2013, obviously 2012 and 2013. Man, it was so much fun. Ray and I talk about it all the time. Just such a connection between that team and the fans, and the winning started again. And when you look back and you think about the 3 years you were with the A's, but specifically the tour you went to the postseason, unbelievable memories.
Yeah, they really were. I mean, you know, I got a chance to play this game probably a lot longer than a lot of guys have played, you know, as far as the average major leaguer. And I think, you know, those couple seasons there have to go down as a couple of the most memorable ones I got to play. So very thankful to the Oakland A's organization. Definitely, you know, an awesome time when I was out there. I guess you know, just felt like you're on cloud nine. You know, there was some amazing things happening every day at the ballpark. To show up at the ballpark, it wasn't, you know, one of those teams where you show up and you're struggling, the things aren't going well. It was just we're on a high, and the fans were on a high, and the whole area I think was on a high, and I think everyone was just really enjoying their job and loving their baseball at the time. You know,
I was talking to Sean Doolittle about the last week. He was in 4. You and Ryan Cook were in 5. The last 5 games, you guys won 6 in a row. How much of that was adrenaline? And go to game 162 when you had a 12-5 lead, yet you wanted to pitch the 9th inning.
Yeah, I can remember. You know, I was warming up. It was a little closer game than 12-5 at the time. It might have been whatever it was. It was a safe situation, I believe. And then, you know, I know Bob got someone up, and I looked in the dugout and stared in there at him, and
these are the 5.
I told him, hey, I want this, and he was definitely nice enough to let me go out there and finish it, and yeah, be the guy on the mound there. It was definitely awesome feeling right there. There's nothing better than that.
Well, I enjoyed the fact that when the game was over, you went in the clubhouse, but yet you came back and you went the whole warning track, and especially if you could have jumped 30 feet up to your fans in right field, you probably would have done it. But they enjoyed it. Everybody enjoyed it. But it'd be a great experience to run around the outfield after that final game, 162.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you knew how much it meant to us as a player, but you also know how much it means to the fans. So to go out there and give back to the fans and run around and just kind of show them, yeah. Really appreciate everything that you've done for us the whole year, because they're always behind us. I mean, you know, I had a few bad games too, so you know they're still there to pat you on the back and support you and say, "Come on," you know.
Here's your victory lap.
Yeah, that was a little high. I think. I think Reddick's got a better chance of jumping up there than me. I've seen him climb that a few times, but.
Well,
yeah, those some great moments to look back on.
You were in first place one day of the season, game 162, which is obviously the most important, but that was a special season.
Yeah, that's I don't know how many times that's happened, but
yeah,
that's the way to do it, I guess.
What are you doing now?
I'm doing some work with start up my own business, actually, just to keep me busy. Buy some properties and flip some properties, and in business with a guy that had asked me, hey, do you want to do this, do you want to do that? And we got to stay busy, so I figured, hey, I'm not the kind of guy to sit on the couch and you know, I get in the gym and work out. I think, you know, as a athlete, you always like to work out and do things. You want to keep that regiment going. I just don't have to be ready to go out and take the mound every day. So I get to, you know, something hurts a little bit.
Take
all right,
off. Hey.
push through it. You know, it's all good. But yeah, just, you know, spending time, being able to get out on the boat, get out on the water, and picking up the kids from school, like I said, being at home with them, with the wife and kids, and just enjoying time with friends, and just having that family time that you do miss a lot when you're playing and always on the road.
You're still living in the area?
Yeah,
close.
Basically half an hour from here.
Right. I remember when you come down here with the A's, you'd spend time at home and decided to spend time here.
Close pitch, call the ball. So it's the 2-out walk to Souza to bring up Logan Morrison. But it's still fresh. You have not been retired very long. So what do you miss about it?
I mean, you know, I definitely miss coming to the ballpark and being with the guys. I miss that competitiveness, going out there on the mound, the game on the line, and wanting to, you know, get those 3 outs. That's something you definitely miss. But I think I got to a point there where you now know, hey, it's, you know, it was getting a little more difficult maybe. So it's time to hand it over. But yeah, definitely, you know, coming to the ball game like this today, you know, this is a game that I grew up, I loved. So it's always going to be there. You know, the game's always here. You know, you see everybody come and go throughout the game, and now you can kind of realize yourself, wow, you know, feels like it went fast, but you know, 19 years of Pro Bowl, it's a long time. You know, I was 19 when I came over here with the Twins, so you know, I got my fair share. I feel happy enough that I got my fair share. Yeah, I think you always want to do more, but
sure.
At the end of the day, I think you just got to pat yourself on the back.
Stick around. One more half inning. We'll talk more with Grant Balfour when we come back. There it is. That was a good day. True story brought to you by McDonald's. Grant Balfour pitched for the A's 2011 to 2013. He saved 64 games in the green and gold. 38 saves in 2013. He was an all-star that year. He announced his retirement this past April. A terrific career for Grant Balfour. Had some of his best moments with the Athletics. That was a whole bunch of saves in a row for you. That was not too shabby of a record, but I got to tell you that we have a lot of favorite Grant Balfour memories with the A's. We have a Grant Balfour favorite memory with the Rays, and it was from the playoffs when you and Orlando Cabrera just didn't seem to agree on what the heck was going on in the postseason. Tell us about that, because it was great.
How about this? Kick the dirt.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I threw a pitch that wasn't close to him and kicked the dirt at me. So.
Oh, and then you just blew him away, right? Yeah.
I told him he needed to go and sit down.
Oh, you never held anything back. That was what was great.
Like I told the guys, Shields was loving it. I think I headbutted him right there, but that's okay.
And he got the worst of it.
Yeah, he's all right.
How much did you enjoy the last inning closing a ball game? I mean, you did a great job, but, you know, a lot of guys, they're nervous. You never seem to be nervous. How much did you enjoy it?
No, I honestly loved it. It was something, you know, it's something that I think every reliever wants to do. Going out there, it's just, I would have liked to have done it a little bit earlier in my career, honestly, sometimes. But, you know, I did get the opportunity there. And, you know, like I said, it's just you just go with it. You get this opportunity, and you didn't want to look back. So I was very grateful that Oakland gave me that chance, and it worked out well. So.
And you were a fiery guy. Obviously, we all know that. When you were down in the bullpen getting ready to come in a game, and it was the 9th inning, did you ever have to try to calm yourself down, or were you going in the other direction, saying, "Let's go. I don't need to calm myself down"?
Yeah,
it didn't look like you were trying to calm yourself down, but I was always curious about that.
I was very prepared. I felt, looking back, I really prepared myself for those games. I think, you know, when you show up to the ballpark, you prepare yourself. You go out there, you throw your sidelines, and you can see yourself just everything's just in flow. It's coming together. Timings, everything's right, and you're hitting spots. So you just know that when you take the mound tonight, you just feel confident that things are going to go well. And it was just a matter of then just to basically pump myself up, fire myself up, and tell myself, you want this, let's get this, and go out there and do your things that you'd done early in the day to prepare yourself. And I did feel in a good position when I was out there. I definitely got the results I wanted. So.
Well, it's tough to be in that role and not have confidence. I mean, but I agree, because Dennis Eckersley, you know, turned out to be not only a starter but a great reliever. But, you know, his roller coaster ride, you know, club was winning, club was down, you know, whether I'm going to get in or not. But, you know, the preparation, like you said, and once you got out there, I mean, that's a great finish, because you figure the closer is the last guy. You know, there are other guys, but the closer is the man, and you did a remarkable job.
0-2 to Marcus Semien. He's trailing 4-1 here in the top of the 4th inning. Fastball is high.
So do you have coaching, possibly kids raised and all that, maybe to come back eventually to teach the rage?
That could be like a class at the university.
I'm not sure if that's a self-taught or what.
It's tough to teach that. You're right. Yeah. But closers have that certain mentality, you know, and I think you fit perfectly in that role, because, I mean, just look at that fieriness that you had whenever Cabrera did that, and, you know, you like to see that in your closer, to be able to just say, okay, I can take care of business.
Slowly hit. Miller cannot make the play, so Semien will be aboard. Do or die play for Miller. So it'll be a hit for Semien, and you made an all-star team with the A's. That had to be a special moment for you.
Yeah, it was. Now I can say, after sitting back watching Bartolo Colon still go, and say, I went to the All-Star game with Bartolo Colon.
Yeah, he'll be in the All-Star.
Home run hitter Bartolo.
How about that?
Yeah, no, it was definitely, it's a highlight on your career. You know, it's just one of those things. It's nice to tip your cap and say, hey, nice to be recognized for the season you're having, or maybe it was the season you had before that. And this the half season you're having. You know, I think it's a mix of things, but you know, it was a great opportunity to go there and play in that game, and to experience the All-Star game itself. I mean, it's really neat. You know, it's 3 days of just packed. You know, there's not 1 minute where you sort of stop.
Right.
You just but it's every minute of it you're loving. So.
You had a special group of guys in 2012, and against Matt Moore, Brandon Inge, one of the stalwarts of that ball club, Johnny Gomes. You know, how special was it to be a part of that team, knowing that you weren't expected to win, and then obviously you ended up winning the final day? Wow. Well, that is. If you drop,
I don't know that Morrison had the ball cleanly.
Yeah, because now they're going to take a look at. Here's a new thing for you, the challenge, Grant. You get to wait around to see if they're going to take a look at it. But he was running.
Did he have the ball? Was the ball underneath him? He never had it.
He never had it.
He will be.
He never had it. He should be
safe. And you can see Mike DeMuro was on the other side of Simeon, so he really could not see the ball come out of the glove of Morrison.
Wow.
Hey, maybe we could have another umpire from up here. We could see it.
Yeah.
Got 3 right here. Grant, thanks for joining us. It's great seeing you, man.
Thanks,
Good luck.
Oh, you got the gnome? Right. We're going to see your gnome.
The Grand Ball for gnome. There it is.
There it is.
The rage.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. You can stick about 3 baseballs in that man.
It's the bottom of the 4th inning. This is out of the inning end. We're kind of scratching our head a little bit.
Well, it's not really in. It's kind of finding its way out. And then this is a continuation. You got to keep the ball because he's falling over Simeon and the ball's on the ground. He'd never had it in his glove, really never definitively to say that the ball was in his glove. It starts to come out there and probably laying underneath him right now as right there it popped out. So unless they thought that he had initially called him out and he held it long enough. But when it's a continuation, I don't know. It's just,
they must have felt like he had it long enough. Or he had control of it long enough. It was kind of dangling on the edge of his glove. Be Pierce, Kiermaier, and Conger here in the bottom of the 4th inning. It was great to chat with Grant Balfour. He looks great, doesn't he?
He always does, and probably always will. And I like his thought process of working out. Don't feel great, just either work through it or shut it down. I mean, when you don't have to play and perform, then you can work out, and you don't feel right, so be it. But happy for him because players today that when they retire, they get a chance to stay home, stay with their families, kids, and enjoy the life of after baseball and still be young.
Well, he was always a lot of fun to be around, and still is, but because there's a very interesting sense of humor with Grant Balfour. It's kind of a dry sense of humor, but then you throw in the Australian accent, and he really says some very funny things.
Right. But he's got the fire. And this is kind of the way the things are going for the A's right there.
So Pierce strikes out, but he'll make it to first.
Strike out on a pitch in the dirt. Stephen Vogt He must have gotten it because they're going to check him out. And once he got it in his hand, trying to block it. Yeah, got him in the left hand above the glove. Steven going down to block it. Got him. Ugh. But the glove, the catcher's mitt kind of dangling from his hand. But as he went back, actually, that's where Fegley got hit. Similar area right above the glove. You can see the redness a little bit on the wrist of Stephen Vogt.
And you know what, Ray, what Stephen Vogt does, he does not wear a batting glove underneath the catcher's mitt, but he has the glove quite a ways off his hand. So kind of the meaty part of the hand right by the wrist is exposed, and you'll see it. See how he keeps the glove quite a ways off of his hand. And you can see that wrist area is exposed quite a bit.
And there are some catcher's mitts that have the extension to cover that area. If you do keep your hand in, he does wear a thumb guard. Sometimes a good sinker will hit the thumb and force it down a little bit. Matter of fact, that's what they're looking at now. It's the thumb. It's like trying to pull a chicken leg.
Wow, looks like that would hurt. Tough to get a guy like Stephen Vogt out of the game. We saw what knocked him out of the game last year.
Yeah. It's his left hand, not his throwing hand, and I don't know. He's going to see if he can catch one. I think that's the biggest thing, not so much throwing, but catching it.
Ow.
Yeah. I think that's why he wears the thumb guard, because
so he's got a pretty good sized thumb guard.
Thumb guard inside the catcher's mitt, and it's to kind of protect, because. But you know what happens too, if you turn your thumb down to catch a ball and it's a sinker ball, it will knock the thumb back. And that's why, you know, if a sinker ball pitcher, ideally you like to turn the palm up so you're catching the ball in the palm, but versus on the thumb, which is pointed directly down to the ground.
So the runner is at first. This is a strikeout wild pitch, and here's Kiermaier. It's funny, when we were talking to Grant Boffer, you know, we always enjoy talking about those teams he was on because they were really good, but they were also just a fun group. Fair ball down the right field line. Pierce digging for third, and Pierce will stop at third. Kiermaier to second, and he's got a double. Somehow got between Alonso and the bag, and there was not a whole lot of room there.
Well, he came off the bag holding the runner, but as he went back, you're right, it was just scooted past him, and he's a very good fielder. But watch right there, it just got under. It was hit so hard, and really could say fortunately Pierce was at first, because Kiermaier would have been at third had he not been to stop him. So Pierce making the third easily, but Kiermaier with his speed was coasting in the second.
So now trouble for Sonny Gray. The infield comes in second and third. Nobody out for Hank Conger. But what I was saying, Ray, is almost like now that you've been away from those teams for 3-4 years, you realize what a cast of characters.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I mean, Bartolo Colon, and
Gomes,
Balfour, and Gomes, and Cespedes, and Donald. Brandon Moss was. How much fun was he?
Right, he was
talking constantly. What a group.
Well, they brought in the Bernie. I mean, it was just all those things.
Well, that's the thing. It was all those things.
Brandon Inge, yeah.
And then the kind of the fans and the team really kind of came together, and that kind of finished it off, made it extra special. This will not get it done. Simeon goes back. Fair territory. He's got it. So big out there for Sonny Gray. So here's the hero of the day so far for the Rays, Brandon Guyer. Solo home run in the first. a 3-run homer in the second. And I know it's easy to say this now because he's hit 2 home runs, but he's had pretty impressive swings in this series.
I think Stephen Vogt put his fingers up, maybe walking him. No, I don't think so. Infield's still playing in, so you think they're going to pitch to him with Miller, the left end, in the on-deck circle. I mean, it's an opportunity. The first base open, pitch him carefully, as hot as he is. And this is his 3rd at bat already in the 4th inning with 2 home runs and 4 runs batted in.
And the first pitch is inside. Geyer is 4 for 11 in this series. He's got a double, 2 homers, and he has knocked in 6 runs. A lot of that damage done today. And he hits this one high into the air. Shallow right, Burns coming in. Pierce tags. Here comes Pierce. Here comes the throw, and it is not in time. An extremely close play at the plate. Burns made a very good throw. Stephen Vogt did everything he could to take the plate away.
It handcuffed him too as he went, and they're checking to see if the hand got on the plate before the tag was made. Looked like he got the tag up near the elbow. If that's the case, then this ball, watch how short hop Stephen Vogt. First of all, there's the catch. Then he had to go back and try to go to the bag or the plate, but it looked like the hand of Pierce got in.
So close play, but it did look like he got in. So give Geyer the sacrifice fly. So 5-1.
You know, it looked like initially that maybe Billy Burns didn't see it, and then when he caught it, kind of jumped and then had to come down. But you know, ideally a throw about 10 feet out in front of the catcher, so he can catch the ball and be able to make the move that time. But when it handcuffed him.
1-0 to Brad Miller. Kiermaier tagged up. He went to 3rd. In the air in front of the A's dugout. This would be a good look at. It's not an easy play for Stephen Vogt. He has to kind of go get it, and that takes him quite a ways off home plate.
And then it got him. It brought him up near the midsection and thought he got to the plate in front. Actually threw his body in front, and Pierce, unfortunately, with the head first slide, got the hand on. Was it looked like Vogt tagged him up around the elbow enough.
That one rolls away from Vogt. Hustles after it. So really, Ray, it seems like a play like that, it just causes the catcher to have to spend just a split second more time concentrating on catching it.
Right.
Because it's a difficult play.
And the point you made about going to get it, it looked like he thought if I go get it, it's going to be a better hop. And then as he came back, it ended up being a short hop regardless whether he go. If he'd gone too far to get it, he would never have gotten back. So he started to back up a little bit, figuring to try to catch and make the quick tag, knowing at that point there was no chance.
It's a tough play for a catcher.
It's horrible. I mean, you know, again, best case is, you know, out in front, catch it, put the tag down, and everything's fine. But it happens so quickly.
Yes. So he's trying to judge.
See, watch the ball take off right there. And that ball was probably 3 or 4 feet in front of him. And to try to catch it, number one, and then being able to apply a tag, I mean, just made it a very difficult play. And meanwhile, after having a ball hit off his thumb, he's blocked 2 with the run at third base and prevent a run from scoring. Play, I mean, he's busy as always.
Two to Miller. And now full count. Miller has fouled out to third and grounded out to second. So he's 0 for 2. 1 for 11 in this series. That one hit a home run. And that's a strike on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. So third strikeout for Sonny Gray, but another run for the Rays on the sacrifice fly. So 5th inning coming up. It's the Rays 5 and the A's 1. Well, today at 4 p.m. coverage of Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals is on NBC Sports Network. After the game, coverage continues with Sharks Playoff Central, and that's going to be on CSN California. Don't miss a moment on NBC Sports Network and CSN. So the Sharks and the Blues get their best-of-7 series started today. Neither of those two teams have ever won the Stanley Cup. They'll battle it out just to get to the finals. First pitch to Yonder Alonso is in for a strike. Warriors will play tomorrow night at Oracle. So to remind everybody, it's a dual event tomorrow with the A's and the Rangers playing. And that's going to beat the shift. And Alonso has his hit for today. First hit today.
Well, it's one thing again to shift, expecting a hitter to pull the ball, but then look where this location is. Fastball is outside, so good hitters are going to take the pitch and go the opposite way. Leading off the inning, the A's need base runners. Yonder Alonso hits a B ring and then gets an opposite field hit.
And here's Landorf, who struck out in the second. Strike. So the Warriors play at 6 o'clock tomorrow. A's play obviously 7:05. So keep that in mind if you come into the A's game.
And also for the A's personnel, getting the players and people to get into the parking lot because are just in general into the stadium.
Miller charges. He's going to go first with Landorf. So one away with Alonso now in scoring position. So Matt Moore so far today, he's got 3 strikeouts. He's walked 1. Last year, coming back from Tommy John surgery for Matt Moore, he came back in early July and then made 12 starts. It was the 2014 season that he missed due to Tommy John surgery. He had the surgery in April of 2014. Came back in July of 2015. So maybe Ray, maybe still getting back.
Yeah.
Probably pretty close.
How about that season? 17 wins and 13's an all-star, and just all falling apart for him, but coming back.
He's still a young guy, 26 years old. And he signed a long contract with the Rays right away. He had just gotten to the big leagues. And it's a contract that was for 5 years, but then it had options after that. And so the Rays now hold a contract option on Matt Moore for 2017, another option for 2018, and another option for 2019. So if the Rays want to keep him, they can for 3 more years.
Slow breaking ball that found its way in the middle of the strike zone.
So 1-2 the count.
Yeah, the Tommy John surgery and essentially missed 2 of those years, 14 and 15, and then coming back. John Lackey had a contract with the Red Sox, signed a 5-year deal, but had Matt Silverman as the president of baseball operations, but contract stipulated that if he missed a year because of surgery, the last year played for the minimum salary, or the next year after the 5th year. And so it turned out to be a good deal for both the Red Sox and the Cardinals.
There's a base hit right center field. Alonso will score. Coco with an aggressive turn. He'll stop there. It's an RBI hit for Crisp, and it's 5-2.
Another opposite field hit. Coco did it his last at bat. They stayed with the shift and pitching him outside with a curveball, and he goes with it. They're shifting him to the left side, and again, I think you're seeing more and more smarter hitters taking pitches that going against the shift, especially with a couple of strikes where the hitter shortens up. In the case of Coco, last 2 at bats, singles to right field on 2 strike pitches.
Still only 1 out for Burns. Coco's got 4 steals on the year. He's 4 for 6 in that department. Slices one foul. You know what, the contract we're talking about with Matt Moore, it also makes him an attractive trade candidate. Because if you were trading for him, you could, if you wanted to, with the club options, have him for 3 more years. And the Rays are not afraid to trade young starting pitching,
because they usually draft pitching and have it in the organization.
Bounce to third. Across the diamond. Burns is retired, and Coco Crisp goes to third.
It's an interesting move that Longoria didn't even look at second.
I was surprised too. I was thinking, I hope that's not a double play.
Yeah.
But Longoria just fielded it, and we're not saying that this is the case, but it almost looked like he thought there were 2 outs.
And I think that's what he's thinking right now. I agree, because you don't have a Gold Glove third baseman come up and just throw to first base.
And Coco was not running on the play. And he's playing in as well. And
no, that's thinking there are 2 outs. You just don't come up like that and just look to first base. And I think that was just one of those.
It does happen occasionally, no matter how good you are.
So make it hurt. That's what the A's need to do. Get another hit. There's not going to be a double play, but it does put a runner in scoring position where Valencia could bring him in. They're shifting him again. So how about another opposite field hit with that shift to the left? As we always say, the first baseman can't really shift as much as the third baseman because he has to get close enough to the bag to be able to get there on a ground ball, which they're assuming it's going to be hit to the left side.
And right now, Logan Morrison's a long way from first base. So Valencia behind in the count 0-2. Valencia homered in the first, struck out in the third. .76 pitches so far for Matt Moore. And that one is belted to left field. And that baby's gone again. Another long shot for Valencia, and it's 5-4.
Well, it had not hit a home run when it came out of the series. It had his third multi-home run game Friday. It does it again today. And a fastball, mislocation, fastball in, home run gone. And just a matter of missing location. Well, you get 0-2 and you throw a pitch like that the ball can be hit that hard. That's a bad pitch.
So a 3-run inning for the A's, and now it's 5-4. That one hit very high toward right field. Geyer waits. Geyer has it. Side retired, but damage done. Danny Valencia, a 2-homer game on Friday night and a 2-homer game today. Long ones to left field. So 5-4 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. California is brought to you by Black Bear Diner. Feed your inner bear. That's the Sunshine Skyway here in the Tampa St. Pete area. Home runs the story today. The Rays leading the A's 5-4, bottom of the 5th inning. Valencia, a pair of 2-homer games in this series, so he's back.
It's going to be a bullpen game for the Rays because Moore, I think, his finish. Actually, the reliever was up last inning, or top of this inning.
And that one is belted deep left center field, and it is off.
Well, let's check the location of this fastball. Wow. And, you know, when Kurt Young, the A's pitching coach, says he's rushing, what it means when he rushes is he elevates because the arm cannot get up on top enough to get the ball down in the zone where it should be thrown. And when you push it, it stays up, and that's usually the result. So Evan Longoria, if he forgot and thought there were 2 outs, he just made up for it.
So home run number 7 for Longoria. 6-4 Rays, and here is Dickerson who takes a strike.
Well, that's a big run for them to come back. To, you know, they talk about the momentum now. A's bullpen gets busy as well.
Dickerson has lined out and he has grounded out. 0 for 2. So Ryan Dole starts to throw. Dole has not pitched in this series yet. He's just getting loose a little bit. Just soft tossing right now. Because
you don't have to tell him to hurry up because he's automatically hurrying up.
Dole, get loose. I am.
By the time you walk to the mound and make a pitching change, I will be loose.
I will be good to go. So 0-2 to Dickerson. 1 for 7 in the series for the cleanup hitter. It's that one hard. Lindor stays down on it. 1 away. Home runs are the story for the Rays this year. This is an interesting note. Highest percentage of runs via the home run, 57%. The Mets are 55, the Orioles are 53, and the average rate is 37%.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
And that is why they're 3rd in the league in home runs hit. They have hit 50 now, but they're last in the league in total runs. So hitting home runs, but not doing a lot of anything else offensively has been the story for the Rays through their first 35 games. The Mets on that list. Valencia reaches to his left, makes a nice play. So Souza's retired. 2 away, and here's Logan Morrison.
Similar to what happened Friday night in the 9th inning. Reaching far to his left, robbing Longoria of perhaps extra bases and maybe a bases clearing double.
Well, the team that leads the American League in runs scored, the Boston Red Sox, are 6th in the league in home runs. But we caught the Red Sox act earlier in this trip, so we're not completely surprised by that. The Rangers are 2nd in the league in runs scored, and they're 8th in the league in home runs. So that's kind of an example, Ray, of teams that are doing quite a bit more than just hitting home runs. We'll see those Rangers tomorrow night. Rangers pitching's been so-so. They're 8th in the league in team ERA, but offensively they've been very good. And 2nd in the league in runs. Rangers at 21-16. 2-0 pitch, outside corner, first drive. Rangers will wrap up their series against the Blue Jays. That game should be close to getting started. It'll be the rubber game of the series. Rangers got a walk-off last night by Drew Stubbs after they gave up a lead. Sanchez and Ramos, the pitching matchup in that one. Landorf has it, fires to first, side retired. Another home run for the Rays. This time it was Evan Longoria. 6-4 Rays lead after 5.
Fans climb the right field wall at the Coliseum with the Josh Reddick bobblehead with spinning action presented by Comerica Bank. Saturday, May the 28th, 15,000 fans will walk away with the replica, one of the Gold Glover's signature catches. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets, or you can call 877-493-BALL. Even Graham Balfour thought maybe Josh could climb the right field wall. He could not. Reddick probably can.
Top of the 6th inning, the Rays leading the A's 6-4.
Is that a new player? Oh, that's Mania. It does look so different.
We'll see him against the Rangers. Hey, when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. It's Erasmo Ramirez. And boy, he has been a huge part of the Rays bullpen. He faces Butler, Vogt, and Simeon. Yes, we remember Erasmo Ramirez as a starter with the Mariners, but was traded to the Rays before the start of last season.
Not a lot of pitches for Matt Moore, but he's out of the game anyway after 5 innings, thanks to a couple of home runs by Danny Valencia. Just 78 pitches.
Pitch down and away. So for Matt Moore, 7 hits and 4 runs. He threw 78 pitches. He really has never got in a real good groove. He's pitching out of the stretch quite a bit. Drive right at Logan Morrison. Well, the shift worked there, as that would have been a base hit to right field. Morrison was slid over to his right, and he did not have to move.
A good swing by Billy Butler whenever he faces a right-hander and hits a ball that hard, but the old Adam ball, and the word you heard came out of the mouth of Billy Butler. Understandable. Hit the ball that hard, trying to stay in the ball game, especially against the righty.
Here's Vogt. Fly ball to left, and a ground out to the pitcher, and this one hit the shallow center. Kiermaier hustling in, and Kiermaier has it. 2 away here in the 6th. And Stephen Vogt had a quiet series. So Erasmo Ramirez has 6 wins this year. That's right, 6. He's made 1 start. He got the win in that start, and he has 5 wins in relief.
Actually, there was some talk about him starting last night instead of Andrius, but they decided to keep Ramirez in the bullpen, where he has done an exceptional job.
Well, the first pitch a little bit low. Wasn't a bad pitch, but kind of boxed by Conger. In fact, it may have been a strike.
I think it was. It's down the middle of the plate.
Let's see if this was a strike. Just
clank.
Pretend he catches it. No, that is a strike.
That's not good. I mean, it's the ball thrown that nice.
1-1 to Marcus Simeon, who has walked, and he's got an infield single. You see Ramirez just pounding the bottom of the strike zone. Doesn't throw exceptionally hard, but he had pretty good control. He used to almost a fastball changeup guy when he was a starter, and did an okay job. And a swing through by Simeon, and how about that hitting for Erasmo Ramirez? He'll probably go more than 1 inning. So Sonny Gray back to work. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Call brought to you by T-Mobile. Let's get you ready for that Rangers series. And there are the probables. Holland and Manaea on Monday. Hamels, Surkamp on Tuesday. Perez, Hill on Wednesday. The first 2 games will be on CSN California. Wednesday's game will be on the MLB Network. So 6 left-handed starters in that series. And it'll be our first look at the Rangers, team that won the American League West last year and playing well this year at 21-16.
Second-year manager Jeff Bannister, the American League Manager of the Year last year. Well, the A's aren't taking any chances as even as Sonny Gray takes them out on the 6th. It may be batter to batter as Dell continues to throw in the bullpen. It's one of those games. Go to Sonny. How you feel? 3 home runs allowed. I feel great. Let me go out. I'm going to try to figure this out. Another time he gave up 3 was last August the 22nd against the same Tampa Bay Rays in Oakland. Those were all solos. Today it's been the Geyer show.
So Dole back up. Pierce has walked. He struck out but reached on the wild pitch, and he has scored 2 runs today. No pitch number 90 coming up for Sonny Gray. He has gone over 100 pitches twice this year in his first 7 starts. Popped up toward the first baseman Yonder Alonso. He's got it. That's the first out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Kevin Kiermaier will step to the plate. Red Sox are at it again, Ray. They lead the Astros 8-4 in the top of the 4th inning.
Wow.
Scored 2 in the first, 4 in the second, 2 in the third.
Came back to win yesterday. They lost what, Friday or Thursday? It's a 4-game series.
Exactly. The Red Sox have won 2 of the first 3, so they'll try to win the series today. Red Sox have won 6 out of 7. For the Astros, their road trip will continue. They will be off tomorrow, but then they will open up a 3-game series in Chicago against the White Sox Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So tough trip for the Astros.
And they're probably going to be so lucky to get Chris Sale. Can't see him pitched what, Friday or Saturday, so
probably. That's no fun.
Yeah.
So we'll keep an eye on that game. It's just in the 4th inning.
Somebody said it's supposed to snow in Buffalo today or tomorrow.
Well, I saw a picture on Twitter of the field in Cleveland today, and there was a little, just a little bit of snow.
Yeah, Paul Horns. Yeah, Horns said something. That? No, I read something.
Just a little bit in front of the dugout.
It said it's cold enough to snow. Well, if you get any,
it did a little.
Rain turns into snow.
That's not.
No, not on May 15th. Steven got it again, of course. See, 2 strikes, and you see catchers will put their bare hand, their throwing hand behind their back with 2 strikes, but really you have to keep it there to block a ball. See how he kind of cups his hand? It came, well, he missed his hand. He got him underneath in the leg. Oh, sorry, Steven. Just protect the right hand, though.
A different limb.
That's why the bus is always so late in the flight, because there's so much ice being dispensed.
1-2 to Kiermaier, who has struck out and doubled. And a high breaking ball. Sonny will take it, and he gets his 4th strikeout. So 5 in a row retired by Sonny Gray since the Longoria home run.
Got away with one. That's a good idea, because he wanted it down, but it stayed up, and maybe just enough to fool Kiermaier. Kiermaier is the point that if he just makes contact with his speed, almost like Billy Burns, just put the ball in play and use the speed. I mean, when your walk-up song is "Every Day I'm Hustling,"
and he is,
he can fly.
Nate Conger swings and misses. Angels and the Mariners will play a little bit later on. And how about the Angels are going for the sweep in Seattle? Santiago and Hernandez, excuse me, right?
No, but they had the lead last night, lost it, and I guess the Angels came back to win it because
Pujols. Pujols hit a 3-run homer in the top of the ninth. It was a wild game.
The Angels had a 4-run lead, and saw the Mariners come back to take the lead. I got tired and turned it off.
Well, that would have been a tiring game to watch. A lot going on. Felix Hernandez will try to salvage the final game of that series. The Mariners will head out on the road. They will go to Baltimore and to Cincinnati this week. Angels they'll play that 2-2 series against the Dodgers. Up the middle, backhanded nicely. Simeon's throw is going to pull Alonso off the bag. So it'll be a hit for Conger.
Well, you can see right there that Simeon holding his hand out saying I threw a changeup, and they moved over through the changeup back up the middle to the backhand, and Simeon just did not have a grip on the baseball to be able to throw it firmly, and when he put his hand out indicating it was like a palm ball changeup, that he could not get as much on it.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. Dull coming in.
Your favorite 70s classics on Grease Movie Fireworks Night, presented by Xfinity, Friday, May the 20th. It comes up next Friday, which is Game 2 of the A's 4-game series against the New York Yankees. After the game, fans can watch the fireworks show from the outfield grass. As always, on-field capacity is limited. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/fireworks. I just keep thinking of Kipe's birthday. I just cannot finish that homo without thinking of your birthday.
Yeah, actually, my birthday got moved.
Oh, really? It's not on Friday? You just don't want all the presents coming, do you?
No, I don't. No, me just. So 99 pitches for Sonny Gray, and gives up 6 runs. But the Ladendorf error, quite frankly, I hope we're not talking about the Ladendorf error in the postgame.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it cost Sonny 3 runs. So Ryan Dull comes in. No record, an ERA of 3.72.
And those runs turned out to be unearned because of the error.
Geyer gets bent back out of the way.
Careful pitching inside to Geyer. He'll take one or more than one.
What a day for Geyer. He has 5 RBIs. And now it's 2-2. For Dull last pitched on Wednesday in Boston. This is the guy he's facing, Brandon Geyer.
That was the hanging slider. Sonny knew as soon as he threw it left it in the middle of the plate. But the next one, a 3-run shot, is the biggest blow, and that was a fastball ran in a little bit, got it up and out, and of course, multi-home run game. Of course, 5 ribbies today. All 5 of the runs scored by the Rays are his.
Gets caught looking there as Dahl strikes him out. A hit and a runner left, and we are headed to the 7th inning from St. Petersburg. Rays lead the A's 6-4. A's Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by Clipper. For work, play, and all points between, use Clipper instead of cash to pay for transit. 6-4, Rays lead the A's inside Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg. Sonny Gray out of the game. 5 2/3 innings. And Erasmo Ramirez back out there for his 2nd inning of work. He had a very impressive 6th inning. Quick 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout. And Ramirez this year, before this appearance, Ray, he's pitched multiple innings 7 times already. So this is not uncommon. He used to be a starter. So.
Threw 9 pitches last inning, so I mean that's the goodness for the A's. This might be his last. So Daniel's up in the bullpen, and
Miller
just missed the bag.
First, and it indeed could not have missed the bag by more than a couple of inches. And if it hits the bag, Alonso's probably going to have a hit. So 1 out. Action in the bullpen. That's Xavier Cedeno. I remember him with the Astros 3 years ago.
Your attention, please. For
he's left-handed.
1 out, and Chris Coughlin's going to hit for Ladendorf. So 1 away here in the 7th inning. Sounds like Henderson Alvarez, Ray, is going to pitch today for AAA. And that will probably be, well, I guess it has to be, right? It has to be.
It's your birthday.
It's my birthday.
He's going to pitch on your. So you got a lot going on, man.
That's why we got to change my birthday.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
His clock started the 20th of April, which he has 30 days.
Dickerson's going back. Dickerson near the wall, and that baby's gone. It got up, and it just kept going, and another home run, and it's 6-5.
Boy, and a rare pinch hit home run, too, because with a lot of platooning and a lot of pinch hitting, you don't get as many. But for Coughlin, he went oppo in Toronto. Matter of fact, that was his last home run on the 24th. But opposite field, that was a high fastball. That was a big one. And this one, a big one as well. Pulls the A's to within 1.
So 3 home runs for each team now. Back to a 1-run game.
Well, there's something about playing indoors, isn't there? Just no elements whatsoever. And
so he's done it before. 4th career pinch hit home run. Time in the National League for Coghlan. Coco fouls it back. So again, Henderson Alvarez, as we were saying, this will be his last start.
That's right.
Down in the minor league. So we're going to see him very soon. And it could be against the Yankees at some point. Axford started to throw. Good to see him back throwing. 0-2 pitch to Coco Crisp is in the dirt. Couple of hits today for Coco Crisp, including an RBI single and a run scored in the 5th.
Did you hear that note they just threw out? First pinch hit home run for the A's since 2014. You know, John Jaso, I think it was Uehara. Remember that game? It gave up back-to-back home runs. The 9th inning, Uehara did. So it was the longest streak without a pinch hit home run that ended today, thanks to Chris Coghlan. And the A's needed it badly to pull within 1. So bullpen, it's a bullpen game anyway.
And that one very close, missed inside. So the count is even to Crisp with Burns in the on-deck circle. 5 runs and 8 hits for the A's, 6 runs and 6 hits for the Rays. Coco drives one toward right center field. That's hit well. Geyer and Kiermaier, nobody's going to get it. Kiermaier picks it up. He gets it back in quickly, and he keeps Coco at second base. So that's the tying run, and it's in scoring position.
3rd consecutive 2-strike hit for Coco Crisp. A couple of doubles, and that was batting right-handed against the left-hander Moore. This one into the gap. What do you think of the speed in right field and in center field? But splitting the gap high enough, neither one could get to it. And Coco with a double, tying run at second base. Ramirez thought it was going to be caught. Couldn't believe it.
And Kiermaier did a nice job to get to it and get it back in quickly, because once it hit, you were thinking maybe Coco had a shot at a triple. Cedeno is ready. Burns is the hitter. After Burns, it's Valencia. So again, it's a whole row of right-handed hitters.
Jim Hickey, longtime pitching coach for both Joe Madden and now Cash, and Kevin Cash, the manager, kept him on board. Tim Foley now the bench coach. Yeah, let's go over the signs with a runner at second base. Yeah, bring him on in, Brad Miller and Ramirez, and we'll do the second sign with a runner at second. Change it up.
It's been that way
for 100 years. Well, Billy Burns continued the success he's had against Ramirez, although a couple of hits, one with the big one.
Burns swings and misses.
May 24th, you remember this guy, first inning, first batter, 1-0, gone. Home run for Billy Burns, his first. Run, slow down, it's a home run, slow it down. And a good swing by Burns, and right now you take a single to tie the game. Take Sonny Gray off the hook and have the bullpen try to win a game for the A's.
Burns will have to fight back, down in the count 0-2. He is 0 for 3 today. He reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd.
Now the Rays shifting him surprisingly more than we've seen other clubs. Normally they're straight up against him.
Pop up, Longoria coming over, and it'll be into the seats. And the outfield playing very shallow, especially in left and center.
Well, Axford looks like he's going to be coming in, or at least getting loose. He hadn't pitched since he got hit on the foot in Boston. his left foot, a ball that hit solidly and was a little bit of a bruise.
This one hit high in the air, headed for the upper deck and into the upper deck.
At your point, Coco with speed. Now Longoria is almost covering third base. That creates the hole between short and third, because the Coco's ability to steal base.
Burns reaches for it, hits it to the screen. So Burns putting on another good battle. 24 pitches thrown by Erasmo Ramirez. This one's going to be playable. Longoria just backs up into foul territory, 2 away. He just kept the ball away from Burns.
Swung a few pitches out of the striking zone, but nothing close to the 14 pitch at bat on Friday against Odorizzi.
So here comes a hot hitter in Danny Valencia. He hit 2 home runs on Friday. He has hit 2 home runs today. Solo shot in the first, a 2-run homer in the 5th. We'll just take a base hit here with the tying run at second base here in the 7th inning.
It looked like in that first pitch they want to stay away from him, and while he has pulled a couple of pitches with fastballs for more, again he went against Dana Evelyn with the second home run on Friday night to right field, deep and obviously into the seats.
That one away from Conger, and Crisp will go to third.
Well, this is the one that he hit against Matt Moore in the first inning. 3-2 fastball all over it, and even better than that, the 0-2 fastball that he hit. That was a 2-run shot. So Geyer 5, Valencia 3 in this game. That's about it. Longoria did hit a home run, just as Coughlin did also for the Athletics.
Valencia takes that sinker low, so he's ahead in the count, 2-1. We remember that. Josh Reddick,
5 in 2 days.
5 homers in 2 days. That was in 2013. So now it's even, 2-2.
And speaking of Reddick, he's still on the bench, and that may be why Cedeno is loosening up, just in case he comes into pinch hit.
Fastball up and out over the plate. Valencia, he can hit that pitch.
Well, that's where as a hitter, if you can peek at all or get some sort of a sign from the on-deck hitter, because Conger was so far outside, it's going to be location is a key. Look where Conger set up, and ball came back a little bit and was up. Similar pitch that Valencia hit off Evelyn on Friday night to right field.
And he chased a pitch in the dirt, and Ramirez strikes him out. A home run for Coughlin as a pinch hitter, so the A's inch closer. 7th inning stretch time from St. Petersburg, and it is now the Rays 6 and the A's 5.
A's Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by Toyota. It's Toyota time for big savings on legendary Toyota quality. Take a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
Hey, we got in-depth sports news for the Bay Area fan. Know it all with Sportsnet Central. It's coming up this evening at 6, and it's on our sister station, CSN Bay Area. It is a busy, busy time in the Bay Area, folks. We'll have all the baseball highlights. We'll get you ready for the Warriors and the Thunder. That series will start tomorrow night. Tonight, it's the Sharks and the Blues from St. Louis, Game 1. Fallon Smith and Henry Wolford will host. A good time for sports fans in the Bay Area, and Sportsnet Central has everything you need covered. So Coughlin, after the pinch hit home run, he'll stay in the game at second base. And Ryan Dole will stay on the mound. So 6-5, bottom of the 7th inning. Both starters gone. Sonny Gray and Matt Moore. And Ryan Dole will face Miller, Longoria, and Dickerson. First pitch drops low.
You know, guy watching Axford warming up. Doolittle still in there. Dole still in the game now. Doolittle is throwing, so maybe John Axford. It was his front foot, maybe his landing foot. Something caused him to sit down because Sean Doolittle quickly loosening in the bullpen. So we hope Axford's okay. Seemed to think he was going to be all right.
Miller is 0 for 3. Axford sits back down. Taking his spike off and his socks off. That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just doing a little yard work.
Well, maybe he was just throwing just to see if he was okay, and then sat down and more of a situational take that. Wow.
Miller just standing at home plate in disbelief. One away here in the 7th.
Well, Geyer stood at home plate last inning the same way, and I mean, that's a perfectly thrown fastball. I guess if you can't hit it, you might as well argue about it.
So Dole has struck out both hitters that he has faced so far, and here's Longoria. Longoria with a double, a ground out, and a home run. 7th home run of the year in the 5th inning. Slider down and away. Tigers are leading the Orioles 4-3, bottom of the 5th. The Tigers are trying to avoid being swept in a 4-game series by the red hot Orioles. They're playing at Camden Yards. Orioles have won 7 in a row. They now have the best record in the American League. And hard to figure out what is going on with the Detroit Tigers. That's Alex Colomé.
To go with the 2-inning save attempt by Colomé.
But the Tigers have lost 4 in a row. But stretching it out, Ray, they've lost 11 out of their last 12. And that is hard to believe with that team. But
yeah,
the pitching's not good. Zimmerman's been good, but after that, it just been a struggle. Tigers are 15-21 on the year.
Well, they get to Coliseum in a couple of weeks, and that's after the A's go to Seattle.
Longoria spoils the 3-2 pitch.
This is after the A's made it a 1-run game, and Sonny Gray a fastball to Longoria first pitch, and Sonny didn't even look at it because pitchers know that whenever they throw a pitch and contact is made that well, they really don't have to look. They're hoping the ball comes down in the glove or before it goes in the seats, but that was not the case. Longoria is too strong.
Another 3-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. Fastball on the outer portion of the plate. 3 strikeouts for Dahl.
And just challenged him with a fastball.
You know what I've realized here, Ray? We've been here, I see we've been here many times. 3-game series is that I think it's against Tropicana Field rules to not have music playing. It's just against the rules. Would you agree with me on that?
You know, now that you mention, I think you're right.
Against the rules. You have to have loud music playing constantly,
especially during our open.
System.
Now you probably noticed that in Boston, while the Red Sox are hitting,
there we go.
Just as you mentioned, it's going to try to avoid it, but the Red Sox have blaring music when they're hitting, but when the A's and the visiting team hits, zero.
Beautiful.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Beautiful.
There's nothing. You could actually hear the crack of the bat.
You can hear yourself think.
Now we're waiting to see after this next pitch if there's music.
Well, we're having fun, but
you're right.
There is some truth to it. One and one to Corey Dickerson. A couple of ground outs and a line out for Dickerson in the game. Big swing goes down to one knee. But he missed it. Fouled it at the plate.
Now waiting for the music. Yeah, here's a big healthy swing by Dickerson into the glove and out, and he's going to have to start wearing a knee pad on his left knee. He goes to the ground so hard.
91-mile-an-hour fastball. 2-2 the count. Top of the 8th, it'll be Davis, Butler, and Vogt for the Athletics.
Colomé comes in. Reddick might pinch hit. Might see him in the spot. Well, Cedeno was up, but it looks like if Colomé is loosening, that unless Ramirez stays in for one more. But what are you shaking your head for? He's not coming in? Oh, he's coming in. Okay.
It wasn't me that was shaking.
No, it was Jeff.
It was Jeff Erstad.
Yeah. But he hasn't been used in this series.
And Dahl strikes out the side. He strikes out all 4 hitters he faces in this game. So terrific job by Ryan Dahl. 6-5. Rays leading. Davis to lead it off. A's Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by Black Bear Diner. Feed your inner bear. Beautiful look at the Bay. See that dome-shaped building right in front of us there? Well, that's where we are. Tropicana Field. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. So it's Alex Colomé comes in. He is the closer. So you just don't see that very often when they bring him in the 8th inning. But as he faces Davis, Butler, and Vogt, first pitch is a fastball high.
Well, that's
Alex Colomé.
It's his four-seam fastball. They're going to throw cutter. Primarily, those are the two pitches. But till Brad Boxberger comes back towards the end of this month, this young man is doing the save, and he's done a good job. 9 for 9 save opportunities.
That one's driven towards center, but Kiermaier's going to get back there. I think Davis may have hit that one off the end of the bat.
He did. I think you're right.
So a 2-pitch out there as Davis is retired. 1 out here in the top of the 8th.
Well, a good fastball, but check the bat and the contact. There it is, just exactly like you said, because if he hits that ball solidly, it's going to go out to center field. Good swing, but wrong direction.
So here's Reddick. Desmond Jennings now in the game in left field for Dickerson. So Reddick steps in. First pitch is a fastball away. 4 home runs, 17 RBIs for Reddick. First time pinch hitting this year. Grounded through the shift and into right center for a hit. So the A's get the tying run aboard.
Well, on this turf, ball scoots through the infield, but they were shifting, and Josh Reddick with a fastball away pulled it in between short and second, exactly where the second baseman would have been playing, but with the shift, it opens it up, and Josh Reddick in a pinch hit. So, A's, how about that 2 for 2 today, pinch hitting?
And now Vogt will hit for the 4th time. And it would be a good time for him to get his first hit in this series. He's 0 for 10. A couple of fly balls today. 1 to left, 1 to center, and a ground out to the pitcher for Stephen Vogt. Not close. 1-0. Colomé, if you remember, was a starter last year at the beginning of the season. The Rays were a little beat up, had some starters on the disabled list. So Colomé, a starter, he made 13 starts last year, then went to the bullpen and made 30 relief appearances. Combined, he threw 109 innings. Won 8 games. And I want to say he may have started a game against the A's last year, or maybe the year before. Yeah. I don't remember that stuff quite as well as my partner.
Yeah, that
last year.
He did start. 21st. You're right. 21st of May. That's right. 86 pitches, 5 innings. You're correct, guy, but that was against our good friend Jesse Chavez. But he won 3-0.
So Vogt sitting on a 2-0 count.
It's a good memory. Do you remember your birthday though? Because you're moving it now. I don't know if you're doing that just because of all the presents you got.
Spread it out a little bit.
Well, pretty good pitch to hit, and this fastball is supposed to be outside and center cut. I mean, that Stephen Vogt's got to be thinking, what am I doing? I mean, they're playing no doubles. The outfield of the Rays very, very deep.
Outside corner.
There's a little backdoor cutter.
So 2-2 the count to Vogt.
And it took a fastball down the middle. This little backdoor right there, just barely catching the outside.
Reddick gets his lead. Good speed at first. Pitch is rolled foul past Mike Eldreddy. Simeon will be next.
And Colomé is pitching the 8th. Don't have to worry about who's pitching the 9th. Unless the A's take the lead, that might change a few things. But first game 6-3, the A's won. Last night it was a 2-hit shutout by Andres. So Colomé inactive in the first 2 games.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. A tough series for Stephen Vogt.
Boy, he threw it hard, and watch this sharp break right at the last instant. Just enough off speed that Voter looked like he was thinking about the fastball. Got the slider cutter. Actually broke more like a slider.
So now it's up to Marcus Simeon here in the 8th inning. Walked, single, and a strikeout for Simeon. Ten hits today for the Athletics. Last night they had just 2. Shut out for the first time this year last night. They only got 1 runner into scoring position. Better offense today for the A's with the 3 home runs. They are both ready. They've been warming up actually each a couple of times. Nobody on the right side except Reddick and Morrison. And now 2-0. Look at that.
Oh. If you're a good bunter, push the ball and roll in the outfield. It'd be 1st and 3rd on a bunt. Simeon would like to get his 10th home run. How sweet would that be? Colomé, tough guy to try to hit a home run because of the cut fastball. There it was too. You're on 2-0. Was not going to give in to it.
Simeon tried to shoot it through that hole. Again, the outfield extremely deep. Conger digs it out.
Well, this is an infielder's backhand because Conger got up a little bit and then put his glove. And while you could say nice block, that's basically improper form, but he got the job done, and that's the biggest thing.
Hitters count for Marcus Simeon.
Had a cutter 2-0, so we'll see what he throws him. 3-1.
And he walked him. So 2 on 2 out, and here comes Alonso. Second walk issued by Rays pitcher. So
I remember last night when Alonso was hitting second in the lineup, and the A's only threat against Andres was whenever they got a hit by McBride, and then a hit batter was Burns, and then Alonso swung at the first pitch and hit it foul to the catcher. And so you like to be aggressive, but think about a first pitch from a pitcher if he's going to give in. So far in the first 4 batters that Colomé has faced, he's used the high fastball. So Alonso, good time to take one to the opposite field again, something he is hitting and doing a lot of lately, and that's using the opposite field.
Alonso is 4 for 11 in this series. Today, base hit and a run scored in the 5th. The tying and go-ahead runners are on base. Outfield comes in now as they go away from that no doubles defense. Alonso slightly open stance. Shift is on. Taps it foul at the plate.
Uh, 1-0 looking fastball, got it just a little bit too quick.
Well, that's your tying run. You're trying to get him home. Nothing else. Make Colomé work.
Yeah. 18th pitch coming up, so there's your work you're talking about. A couple of hittable pitches too on the 1-0. Now the 1-1.
So the crowd over 19,000 today cheering on Alex Colomé. He's ready, so is Yonder Alonso. So Alonso slams his helmet to the ground. He strikes out, and the A's strand 2. Bottom of the 8th coming up. It's the Rays 6 and the A's 5. Here's our game summary for today, brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. For the Athletics, 1 in the 1st, 3 in the 5th, 1 in the 7th, 5, 10, and 1. And for the Rays, they scored early, including a 3 spot in the 2nd inning. They have 6 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Sonny Gray, 3 earned runs in 5 2/3 innings. In Valencia, another 2-homer game. Matt Moore was just okay. And Brandon Geyer has a 2-homer game. Each team with 3 total home runs. And it is 6-5 Rays as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts, as John Axford comes in.
Oh, what a job by Ryan Dahl. 4 batters, 4 strikeouts, 1 in the 3rd inning. So great job that he did to keep it at a 1-run game.
Now Axford facing Souza, Morrison, and Pierce. Setting you up again. Could it be his game to save?
Could
right?
be.
High fastball swinging. Well, that would be interesting.
Yeah, Coughlin do up first, and of course he pinched hit and lefty. Then you have switch, or yeah, switch.
So it could be what Kevin Cash is looking at.
Could be a situational game for him. The most important thing, keep it at a 1-run game. That's the important thing.
Strike 2-2, 98 miles an hour from John Axford. So he's had a little time off.
Well, always a concern, and he had been indicated a little bit that the landing foot, he wanted to make sure it was okay. And that's probably why he was up in the bullpen, rather the first time he'd thrown. But you don't want to see someone favor, in this case, his left foot where he got hit, and injure the arm. So he took the proper amount of time to make sure. He said he was watching the replay, and he heard us say, wow, we heard that all the way up here, which we did. And we heard it's Fenway. We're way up high at Fenway Park. Well, this is the left foot is the one that got hit, so he seems to be just fine with the landing of the foot. No indication of favoring at all, which is important.
3-2 pitch, and there's a good fastball at 99 miles an hour, and it actually looked like it had a little movement to it.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you have come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to AdBat Premium, #1 app for live baseball, blackout, and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for detail.
So here's Morrison. 5 straight strikeouts by A's pitchers. Ryan Dull threw an inning in the 3rd, 4 strikeouts. Logan Morrison is 0 for 3. 2 groundouts and a pop out to second. Good pitch there by Axford. Morrison still without an RBI this year. 83 at bats, and right now Axford is throwing hard and he's painting the corner. So the foot must feel okay.
Yeah,
if he's throwing like this.
Foot's okay and the arm's strong.
Emergency swing by Morrison. He was late, and the pitch was outside.
When you start thinking as a hitter mid-May and your at-bats start to approach, and I think to your point, well, taking about with Forsythe on the disabled list, Pierce is going to be playing a lot of second, so that means Morrison getting a lot of opportunities, which could be beneficial to him.
Long run for Davis. And Davis will get there, and Davis makes the play. So Logan Morrison 0 for 4 today.
Number 28, second baseman, Steve Pierce.
So that'll bring up Steve Pierce. Pierce has scored a couple of runs today. And a couple of plays that have been costly to the A's in this game. In the 2nd inning, Tyler Ladendorf made an error on what would have been the 3rd out. And no runs would have scored. And the next batter was Geyer, and he hit a 3-run homer, and that was just a backbreaker. So that's 3 unearned runs in the second inning. This is the play. Landorf he charged it, and just could not come up with it. And the very next hitter said, "It's gone." So 3 unearned runs there, and then in the 4th inning, this guy right here, Steve Pierce, struck out, but a wild pitch, and he got to first base, and he ended up scoring. So really, that's 2 defensive mistakes by the A's. Well, a wild pitch is really pitcher's mistake. That's 4 runs.
And with a complicated, Pierce walked in that second inning, and he was one of the base runners. And
Coco to his left. He's got it, and the last shot for the A's. 6-5 is the score. It'll be Coughlin, Crisp, and Burns. More shot, trailing just by 1 run, 6-5. Chris Coughlin pinch hit in the 7th inning, and he did this.
Ramirez, not a bad pitch, up a little bit, and Coughlin, who has shown exceptional opposite field power, does it again in a pinch hit capacity. And now he will face a lefty. So admit Colomé, the closer, was 9 for 9 coming into today's game. Does pitch the 8th inning, and they turn it over to Cedeno, who will face Coughlin, the lefty, and then Crisp and Burns are switch hitters, turn around about right-handed. Then Valencia, Davis, and Reddick. So I mean, you've got some power and right-handers coming up. So important for the A's to get a runner, if not a couple on base. Although the Rays have a right-hander starting to loosen.
Coughlin on the first pitch grounds it to Pierce. 1 out. Well, the Rays also have brought in a new catcher, Kurt Casale.
Center fielder, Coco Crisp.
For Cedeno, really not overpowering. You're right about Houston last year with Tampa Bay in a couple of appearances, but did give up a couple of runs. But not overpowering with a fastball, cutter, and a curveball.
There's a little cutter.
Can't look for too much.
He went from Houston, where we saw him, and then Washington. And as you said, last year, and he was good last year. His numbers: 61 games and a 2.09 ERA for the Rays. Xavier Cedeno from Puerto Rico. One and 1 to Coco Crisp, trying to get aboard. Coco's breakdown this year. He's hitting .333 as a right-handed hitter, but that's just 12 at bat, so not a large enough sample size. 207 as a left-handed hitter.
A couple hits to right field against Matt Moore.
Miller to shortstop. Release. So 2 away.
It looked like Kevin Cash wanted to bring Cedeno in to face the lefty, and then he knew the other lefty, and Reddick had already pinched hit. Yet Fegley is a possibility, and McBride. So he turns a couple of switch hitters around the bat right-handed, and of course faced Coughlin. So a couple of ground ball outs, and a total of 5 pitches that he has thrown.
Burns 0 for 4. First pitch is low.
I really saw Coco take first pitch, which was a strike, and you almost have to think you're down a run, you need a base run, you got to take a pitch or take a strike. He just took the pitch, and
yeah, that's a strike outside corner. Probably didn't have to be.
no.
So the count now 1-1 to Burns.
Delayed by the home plate umpire on the back door, and
It's not a strike.
don't know about that one.
Slider pounded in. Burns hooks it into the seats. So now the A's under their final out. Like Billy Burns could get on, then you could bring the stolen base into play, and Valencia is your on-deck hitter. And there it is, and that ball may get to the gap. Burns is going to head for second, and he's going to make it standing up, and the A's are still alive here in the 9th.
Now Kevin Cash has a decision with the righty throwing in the bullpen. But Billy Burns, great job going down to get this low breaking ball and hooked it into left center. Kiermaier in the top of your screen, right center. Now he's going to his right-hander, Cash is. So it was Kiermaier, but Billy Burns, this is an easy double for him, a stand-up double, hooking the ball into left center. So he's got an easy double. So Danny Valencia, if they pitch to him, he's got a chance to have a special day.
So 6-5, A's trying to come back here in the 9th.
It's been his day, a 2-home-run day. Fastball, 3-2 fastball from Matt Moore in the first inning, a long home run. Then again, an 0-2, tried to stick one outside. Instead, it came inside, and that was a 2-run shot for Danny Valencia. Over this weekend, 2 home runs Friday, his 3rd multi-home run game. Today he does it again, and could he just get a single and tie this game? Take a home run, yes, to give the A's the lead. A's out hitting the Rays 11-6, but they bring in Steven Geltz, who pitched on Friday night, couple of innings. First opportunity to save a game, and it's a big one. So Danny Valencia trying to spoil that.
Well, that is the tying run. The speedy Billy Burns, full shift on. 3 infielders on the left side for Valencia. Geltz with a quick glance, and the pitch is hit high in the air. Left center field, and that baby is gone. That's a 3-homer game, folks, and the A's have the lead.
Well, we talk about Danny Valencia, but Billy Burns, somebody to get on base to bring the hottest hitter of the A's up. So a 5-home run weekend, just like Josh Reddick in Toronto. First 3-home run game. He does it. Shakes hands with Josh Reddick, who did it in Toronto. And the A's have the lead. What a big day for Danny Valencia.
Give him 5 RBIs. Give the A's a 7-6 lead. Geltz threw 1 pitch. And that's all Danny Valencia needed to see. And I don't know, just doing the math, Ray, he's hit about 1,300 feet worth of home runs.
Yeah, there's not been one chippy. You're right. As Ryan Madson, who has been designated as the closer for the Athletics, gets loose.
A little bit down, and the count 1-1 to Davis.
Well, that quieted the crowd very quickly, and it did not take long. 1 pitch. Danny Valencia, who started on Friday night with 2 home runs, and back today. So 5-home run weekend for Valencia.
As Davis swings through it, now 1-2.
So Geyer 5 ribbies today. Danny Valencia 5 ribbies. So another 4-home run game. They did it Friday night, thanks to Valencia, and that's the 3rd time this year. Once in New York, twice this weekend.
And strike 3 called on Chris Davis. But Danny Valencia is the hero right now. The A's 3 outs away from what would be a terrific win, and it would be thanks to Danny Valencia, a 3-homer game. And the 3rd one, the biggest and the most important.
Well, when you're hot, you want your hottest hitter to the plate. It's a fastball from Geltz, and he did it in Seattle. Gave up a walk-off. This is not a walk-off, but from the A's standpoint, it's a walk around the bases because they were down to their last out. And Billy Burns hit a double. They decided to pitch to Danny Valencia with Josh Reddick in the on-deck circle. Chris Davis, who just struck out in the on-deck circle. But that's the result of a first pitch fastball. No doubter once it left his bat to left center. He knew it was gone. And the A's very, very happy that he did hit his 3rd home run of the game.
So Madson comes in, and he will try to save it. So I think certainly Kevin Cash is probably going to have to answer the questions after the game of using your closer in the 8th inning, and I'm sure his reasons were good for it. But if you're willing to use Geltz, who has never had a save opportunity in the 9th inning, why not use Geltz in the 8th inning when there's right-handed hitters coming up?
And you know, the A's are different because legitimately, and although Madson now basically is a closer, they have 3 legitimate closers in Axford, Doolittle, and Madson. So, you know, you could do that if you have proven closers. But I agree with you. Personally, and I'm shocked that he didn't come out for the 9th inning. Just because if he's going to pitch the 8th, which is the difficult inning that he was facing, he got through it, but he looked at lefty, switch, turn him around about right-handed, and while it turned out to be good in the first 2, but Billy Burns got the 2-strike double, and that set it up, and he had to make the move. He went to Geltz, and the rest is history with Danny Valencia.
So 7-6, bottom of the 9th, Madson in.
So the A's are willing to give up the DH, put Reddick defensively in the outfield, and trying to get a 1-run victory today.
Kiermaier bounces one towards second. Coghlan has it. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Well, that's a great guy to keep off the bases, too. And what a job by Ryan Dahl and John Axford. I mean, cannot forget those guys to keep it at a one-run game. And now Ryan Madson trying to close it out.
And here is the catcher, Casali. Madson kicks in the first pitch. Valencia has it, ranging far to his left, throws in time, 2 outs.
Well, here he is. So it's the Valencia Geyer show today, and Valencia has outdone him so far. Let's hope Ryan Madson, 2 pitches, 2 ground ball outs. And Geyer, who thought he was having a career day, which he has. A multi-home run game, 5 ribbies, a career best for him, home runs. And now Madson trying to make him the final out of this game.
And the first pitch is a fastball right around the belt for a strike.
It's horrible to be a third hitter when the first 2 make out on the first pitch, because it's almost, you don't want to make it a 3-pitch inning, so you take it, and Ryan Madson threw him a good fastball for a strike, and it's a good way to get ahead of it.
And he popped it up. This should do it. Alonso coming down. Alonso calls. Alonso has it, and the A's win it 7-6 in dramatic fashion. Wow.
That's a wow. That's a wow for sure.
A long plane flight awaits, but it should be a happy flight thanks to Danny Valencia, a 3-homer game. The last one was a big one, and the A's win it. 3 hours and 4 minutes in front of 19,545. The A's come back on the Valencia 2-run homer, and the A's win it 7-6. You've been watching A's baseball on CSN California, part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's post-game live with Mindy Bach and Pip Roberts starts right now.